You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello everyone, thanks for being here today. I am Kirk Mona and I am joined today by Rachel Ginza and Victoria Thompson. We are all professional naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome to this show. We're getting closer to Halloween.
Yay!
Getting excited, and I've got I got something that's kind of easing us closer to the Halloween spirit here this week. I'm going to take us back. Back when I was in school, there was two words that I always mixed up, and that's meiosis and mitosis.
That's fair.
These are the different ways that cells can divide, either by splitting into two identical cells or by dividing up just half the genetic material and splitting into what will become sex cells like sperms and eggs. So full disclosure, I did re-look up these terms when researching this week's topic, and if you offered me $100 right now to tell you which one is which, I would still only have a 50% chance of winning $100.
I can help you out.
So
I could help
I'm
too.
Sure. Okay. In my brain, it's just like, nope, not going to happen. But I do want to throw a new word into the mix because when I saw it, I thought, oh, great, another one. This word is meiosis.
Oh.
And you're like, oh,
What?
come on now. So the reason meiosis and especially mitosis or meiosis sounds so similar has to do with scientists' obsession with Latin. So Latin was the universal language of science for generations, and it was the common language that all of the learned of society spoke. It likely goes back to the fact that the only educated people used to be clergy, and they had to speak Latin to read the Bible, so it was a language they were most familiar writing with and, sending letters and whatnot, so it kind of became the de facto learned language that people used. And both meiosis and meiosis, and sure, mitosis as well, are all from Latin. And going back even further, they all have their roots in ancient Greek. And by the way, there are more similar words too. I recently learned that meiosis means like the constriction of the pupil of the eye. So apparently add that to the confusing list as well.
Oh.
But
Love that.
that's only tangentially relevant to today's topic, but good Lord. I just want to acknowledge that sometimes these words can get really confusing. So what is meiosis? Well, predictably, it's strange and it's gross. So buckle up.
Oh, great. Love
For
it.
our first clue, well, we're getting closer to Halloween, so we're getting into some of this stuff here. For our first clue as to what this word means, let's go to the root of the word itself. In Greek, Maya means fly. And I don't mean the verb. I'm talking about the noun, the critter, the animal.
Oh, I hate
the
this.
fly.
So how is this word spelled?
I hate
Diptera.
this.
Diptera
Oh.
to the nerds in the know. That would be, how's it spelled? It is spelled Myiasis.
I don't like where this is
The
going.
suffix.
I
the
don't
suffix
like where this is
asis?
going.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Can mean a few things, but in a general sense, it means like a condition or perhaps afflicted by or affected by. So we
Affected
have
by a
word that
fly?
essentially means affected by the fly.
No. No.
And the guilty party in this case is one of a large number of flies we collectively call the bot flies.
Oh, no.
Now,
Kirk.
gentle listener, here in the season of
Our poor
Halloween, as we
Instagram.
think about zombies and vampires and spiders and ghouls, I respectively submit you should add to this list the humble bot fly.
Oh.
And since we're talking about the etymology of entomology today, let's dive into the
God.
word origins here. And I can tell you that bot is essentially another word for maggot. Yes, maggots. Maggots are the
hate
larval
this.
stage of flies. And incidentally, story time. About a month ago, I put a sheet of cardboard on top of my garbage can because there wasn't room in the recycling. I was going to wait till the following week when I could fit in their empty can. Well, there must have been something attractive to flies in my garbage because when I came back to move it a week later and it had gotten kind of rain and kind of wet, I picked up the cardboard and discovered that underneath the cardboard were hundreds and hundreds of small centimeter long fly maggots crawling all over the top of my garbage can, which
Ew.
I
I
then
would
needed
walk
to move
away.
down to the street. It was challenging, put it that way.
No.
But I digress.
Yuck.
Back to our story.
Gross.
Perhaps instead
Did
of
you
using
take
the
a
word,
picture?
Of course I did. Yeah, I can send it to you in a minute. After the show here. So instead of using the word myiasis, I would submit that we could change it to botasis, maybe, because it could be affected by maggots. The way botflies reproduce is quite interesting and, of course, disturbing. First of all, they capture an insect that feeds on mammals' blood. And this really surprised me. So picture either like a mosquito or a tick or maybe even another species of fly. They don't kill the insect. They simply capture it and lay their tiny eggs on it and let it go. And those eggs stay dormant on that insect until it takes a blood meal from a mammal. The eggs react to the temperature change of their insect host because it's filling up with warm mammal blood, and the eggs hatch and abandon ship, moving quickly onto the new mammal host that their traveling, conveyance insect had found for them. And I found this super interesting. When I heard of botflies, I originally assumed that they hunted down humans to lay their eggs on, but that is not the case at all. And I'm probably biased. I mean, I know I'm biased because I'm constantly attacked by deer flies in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And I just assume botflies would do the same and just go directly for their mammal host.
That feels
But nope.
more.
Nope.
That feels easier.
Yeah, they actually get their eggs on you in this tricky roundabout way, which is super cool. So imagine these tiny new larvae are now on your skin.
No,
They
I won't.
either find the bite wound of the insect that they were riding on, or they find just a hair follicle will work, and they burrow their way into your body.
Oh,
They must be extremely
And
small.
I say, yeah, they're extremely small. I say your body because the specific type of botfly I'm talking about is the Dermatotobia hominis. And you can tell by hominis on there, it goes after humans. There's actually many types of botflies in the world. We have them here in the United States. They're pretty much in every state. But this type, the Dermatotobia hominis, exclusively needs human hosts. And the ones that we have, like, say, here in Minnesota, they're going after other mammals. And we just, on our day-to-day have no idea they're even here.
thank
So
goodness.
this one that goes after... Yeah, we got that going for us. The ones that go after human hosts are found, and I have to apologize to some of our listeners who are in these areas. They're found from Mexico south through Central America, and also in South America as far as around southern Brazil. I know, shout out to our Brazilian listeners. Hi, we see you.
Hey.
I'm sorry you live in a place with botflies. So the human botflies. So this fly larva is now under your skin and growing.
No.
It feeds on your body. It goes through several instars or larval forms on the way to becoming an adult, and it stays under your skin for 8 weeks.
No.
As you can imagine,
No.
It just gets worse.
causes irritation and even pain. People, you're not going to like this. People can feel the larva moving around under their skin.
No.
Now, it still has to breathe. So it has a little butt snorkel that sticks out through the skin. And apparently, if you cover the area or take a shower, the maggot has trouble breathing and it'll start to wiggle around, and then you can really feel it.
Ew.
And there's no other way I'm going to say it. The wound area can sometimes exude pus as well. Which is, yeah.
Why would you not go to the doctor at that point? Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Get it out.
Go to the doctor, especially if the following happens. And look, there's not really a great place to mention this part, so I'm just going to throw it in right here. The larva can also infect the tissue at the corners of your eyes.
No.
Like the little tear duct there, right in the corner of your eye. You could have one of these growing in there. So that's horrifying. Now, you want to get rid of it.
This is not your Halloween episode.
That's
no,
what
this
I
is
was
not my
thinking.
Halloween episode.
Oh no.
They can sometimes, I almost did this for the Halloween, but I thought I got something else for Halloween. They can sometimes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It gets worse. They can sometimes be pushed out like the world's grossest pimple. Basically by taking two like tongue depressors on each side and like kind of push them together.
I hate that
but-
so much.
Squeezing a
They do-
blackhead, but it's a
Oh,
They do have backward facing spines covering their body.
oh
That makes
no.
removal difficult and painful. Most people, as you said, go to the doctor. Most people do go to the doctor to have them removed. There is a number of techniques, and also nowadays like medicines that have been shown to work. Like I think ivermectin you can give, and it just sort of expels the insect. You can inject something, I think like lidocaine, into the spot, and literally the pressure of the added fluid can just push them out. But if you don't go to the doctor, they will come out on their own after 2 months. And interestingly, they're still a larva when they emerge. They don't come out as an adult. They actually need to drop off and get into the soil to continue their life cycle in the soil to then become an adult.
This is a
which I
very
think is pretty
complicated
cool.
life cycle for an insect.
It is
It is.
indeed. It is indeed. So I just want to say, wear your DEET and long pants, people. Keep the insects away. Very excited after this story, thinking about the fact that winter is coming to the Northland and won't have to deal with insects at all. But that's what I have for you today. As we're sliding ever so closer to Halloween, I have the gross and horrifying botfly. My sources this week were mostly the National Institute of Health and an amazingly detailed and cited photo-rich creature feature from the Entomology and Nematology Department at the University of Florida.
Well, that was
I hate that.
superlative.
I know you love it. All right,
Yeah.
we're going to take a short little break here. When we come back, Rachel, you got something kind of a little more Halloween-y, kind of getting toward the Halloween episode for us?
Yeah, but not as horrifying
Not
as
that gross.
that.
No, maybe I
Goodness.
should have saved this one for the Halloween episode. You're welcome, everybody. All right, we'll take that break. We'll be right back with Rachel.
Oh, our poor Instagram. Welcome back, everyone. Caterpillars.
Are we recovered?
No.
More or less.
No.
Never.
No. I'm going to
Too
have
short of a
nightmares
break.
about this. Caterpillars. We've talked about some wild insects on the show, and we've talked about mimicry, and we've talked about the life
Yeah.
cycle and the craziness that is metamorphosis in the first place.
Yes.
For this particular caterpillar, I truly don't have words for this one. I'm talking about
my.
the hag moth. Now, the moth, the adult form of this particular caterpillar, is more or less unassuming brown moth that has little white tufts by its front legs around where the abdomen and thorax meet. And it's not super big.
Okay.
It doesn't look super imposing or anything like that. The caterpillar, it has its own name. It's called the monkey slug caterpillar.
Monkey
and
slug. That's great.
monkey slug. It does occur in North America, and I've sent you both. Just take a look at the photo I've sent you both, and tell me how you describe this, because I'm at a loss of how exactly to describe this.
What?
Good. What?
Rachel.
It's.
What am
It
I
looks like
looking
a.
at?
That's a caterpillar.
That's a caterpillar.
My first thought was like the first vibes I'm getting was like centipede.
Mhm.
Not, no, God, not
Tick,
centipede.
maybe.
Spider?
Sorry, the first vibes I was getting is like a tarantula.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of
Mini-legged and
furry looking.
hairy.
Lots
Yep.
of legs. Looks like a pipe cleaner that's been doubled up a lot.
Ooh.
Uh,
yes.
Ooh, yeah. So I count 1,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4. Well, I can't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can't even tell. 14, 15. Is someone kind of run together? Like there's like 7 or so legs coming off each side. I think, yeah, brown pipe cleaners that kind of curl at the ends.
Yep.
It doesn't look like a caterpillar.
It does not
Sure
look
does
like
not.
a caterpillar.
Monkey
So-
slug, huh?
It's
Monkey
weird.
slug caterpillar. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't really remember how I happened upon this, but I was like, what is that? Anyway, so
Okay,
this,
I don't want one crawling on my face at night, I'll tell you that.
well, I'm sorry to
Nope.
tell you that they do exist in Michigan. So,
I'm not in Michigan.
no, we're not, but
Perfect.
anyway. So, obviously, it's a very distinctive little caterpillar, and it can be mistaken for like a shed of some hairy tufts of fur from like a fox or something like that, or maybe like you said, Kirk, a spider. It does
Sure.
look very similar to a spider. It has about 9 pairs of
9
tubercles.
pairs. Wow, okay.
So those are not limbs
Tubercles?
at all. Tubercles, yes.
Huh.
Sorry,
They're
I
not
found a spider in
they're
my
not
house.
limbs at all.
No,
you're
they're
saying.
not limbs.
Oh, so they're just like
Wow.
little tentacly things sticking off of its
Gross,
back,
yeah.
basically?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh.
So it's a really flat caterpillar with its legs tucked up underneath, and those are just hairy projections of different
Wow.
lengths along a flattened body.
So weird.
Isn't
Nature
that
truly is
wild?
remarkable.
So it's
Yeah.
it's 9 pairs, so that's 18. So I will say, if you do come across this particular caterpillar in the wild, don't pick it up. I don't know why you would
Okay.
want to. It can cause imitation. So
Imitation.
I just said imitation.
You
Irritation.
said imitation. You pick it up and it transmorphs
Mhm.
into you.
Ah.
Now we see why it's a spooky story.
Oh. Irritation.
Oh,
Irritation.
Irritation.
Suddenly
Yeah, I
it
tend to
makes more
avoid the
sense.
furry ones because you never know.
Yeah,
the furry
you never
ones,
truly
know.
they can be.
Do not pick up hairy caterpillars, you guys. That's
No.
a bad idea.
Yeah, so this particular caterpillar, overall, it just looked super bizarre. It was like a major reason why I wanted to talk about this, especially since the adult
Yeah.
truly looks so normal. It is a brown moth. That's it.
Yep.
So
Wow.
all of the hairy tubercles, projection, false legs, they are there for protection of that caterpillar. They can fall off if they get snagged or anything, and the caterpillar can
Ew.
continue on its way. They're pretty small. They're only about they're not even an inch long. They're 1.5 to
wait,
2.5 centimeters long.
The whole thing or the
whole
thing sticking
thing.
off?
Oh.
Okay,
just
wow, that's
a
small.
wee
It
little
is tiny. It's not even an
strange
inch.
caterpillar.
Yeah.
Wee little tiny thing. I guess
Aw.
people thought it could be mistaken for like a dead dry leaf, and in which case, what leaves are they looking at? Because I have questions.
No. Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah.
Tuft of fur, I can kind of see maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Small
Yeah.
spider, I could kind of see, but no,
Not a
dead
leaf.
leaf.
No.
Nope.
No. So they have really short little legs. They're pretty much like little proto legs, and they're pretty much little suction cups as they walk along a leaf.
Oh.
Right? They're so cute. So they
is
walk
kinda cute,
around
yeah.
and they live on the underside of leaves, and they feed on the leaf and of whatever they can find. They're more of a generalist, so they'll go for like apple, ash, cherry, dogwood, oak, walnut,
Okay.
willow, whatever they can, right? They'll eat
Just like
those
basic caterpillar stuff.
basic caterpillar stuff. They'll go through that, and they will then become a pupa, where they are in like a C-shaped type cocoon, and then they will emerge as their adult moth self at 3 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a ton is known about this particular species. We're still learning more and more about it, but it just looked too bizarre to not talk about. There are multiple species of these. I talked about the monkey slug caterpillar. However, there are many species of slug caterpillar moths. And they all look wild. Just
Well, you know what's
sure.
really cool, Rachel? I got good news and bad news for everybody.
Yeah.
The good news is if you want to see what they look like, you can check out our Instagram feed,
You
right?
absolutely can check
Yeah,
out our Instagram.
definitely.
It will be there. It is a
Please do.
Yeah, it's like this flat. It looks like if you smushed a tarantula is kind of a good descriptor of this.
What's the bad
But
news?
remember
though?
I said there's bad news is that there's probably going to be a picture of a botfly larva there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. So, sorry.
So you take the good, you take the bad, take the rest.
Well, just wait till we get to my topic. It's going to be a real hat trick for this episode.
Oh, our poor Instagram feed.
All right, so
All right,
that's
I'm
what I have
excited.
for you both this week. Monkey Slug Caterpillar just looked weird and bizarre, and I wanted to share. And now I'm so scared.
it's the
Three
cute one
animals
of the
that don't
week,
go
I
together.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Oh boy.
We're going to take a quick break,
right.
and when we return, it'll be Victoria.
Strange by Nature podcast is brought to you by listeners like you who have joined the Society of Strange, our membership group on over at patreon.com/strangebynature. Society of Strange members can join at one of 3 different membership levels and help support the show and also get some fun stuff like water bottle stickers or access to super secret content. So a thank you to those who have joined already to help make this podcast possible. If you haven't joined yet, we'll see you soon over at the Society of Strange at patreon.com/strangebynature. See you soon.
All right. So, Kirk and Rachel, you've worked with me, so you may be able to guess what I'm getting at. I'm going to talk in our lead up to Halloween episode about a topic that is scary to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to say, as a naturalist and as a future nurse,
I know what this is.
I'm not too easily grossed out by stuff in general. I mean, botflies are pretty gross.
Sure.
That was gross. But,
Yeah.
Right.
poop,
Yeah.
blood, wounds, dead animal carcasses, as a naturalist working in
Poke it
nature
with a
centers.
Kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah. And you're working with animal ambassadors, so I've gotten very comfortable handling all kinds of animals, including snakes, toads, turtles, raptors. And, these are all carnivores, so I've also gotten comfortable handling their food, which is like frozen dead mice, live crickets, minnows, worms, no problem.
Gotten a rat, yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
There's one that you're missing there, Victoria.
there sure is. There's one creature that sometimes lives in nature centers that I have not been able to get used to and really avoid as much as possible. So for this Halloween month, I am talking about something that I really don't like. I am talking about cockroaches.
Fair.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How have we not
I-
talked about cockroaches?
I do not know.
Researching this episode was so uncomfortable for me.
Oh, man.
I had to look at so many pictures of cockroaches.
Are you going for a particular species or just like...
No.
Just
I'm going to talk a little bit about cockroaches in general. I can't stand them. Thinking about them gives me the willies. I don't like being in the same room as a tank full of them, although I will tolerate it if I need to. I won't reach into the tank. Sorry.
I might have some cockroaches in my house right now.
Oh,
But that's
well,
I have a gecko.
Like, wait,
so
wait,
they're
hold on.
contained.
Luckily,
they're
you live far away from
contained.
me.
They're
Or-
contained. They're contained.
Okay,
It's
they're
fine.
not like just like under your fridge.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I would cry.
Yeah, I mean, I basically have a
I
phobia.
will tell you, Victoria, that our colony, we have a colony of them at work, as you know. It had gotten so large, and one of the other nature centers locally needed theirs replenished. So we are right now splitting our colony in half to give them a bunch because
for
we
you.
have such a bounty of cockroaches. We're so good
Lovely.
at raising them.
Lovely.
Amazing.
Well, my dislike of cockroaches stems to my childhood in a New York City apartment where we were
You've mentioned
frequently
that, yeah.
visited by
Fair.
cockroaches. Yeah, and I hate their shiny brown bodies and their long wispy antennae and their leathery wings and the way they scuttle
Oh, the leathery wings, yeah.
Yeah.
and the unexpected indoor places you find them sometimes.
Yeah. I will say I can't stand, like, if I sit there and listen to their scuttling, especially on like plastic or glass or anything for too long, it will get to me.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, the roaches I grew up with and the roaches that are kept as food for reptiles and amphibians in nature centers are different species.
Different, yeah.
Yeah. And in fact, there are about 4,600 species of cockroaches, which are
That's
in the...
more than I expected.
Yeah. The name of their order is Blattodia, which also is a gross sounding word to me. I don't know. Anyway. Only around 30 of these species live around humans, and only 4 of them are really sort of major pests. In New York City, there are apparently 4 species. These 4, I guess. Probably the small ones that would show up in our apartment were the German cockroaches. The ones that really I didn't like big 2-inch suckers, were American cockroaches that would show up in the bathtub. Not fun. Not
Oh, that's
no.
not okay. Nope, not okay.
No.
Especially if you're in it at the time.
Yeah,
no.
Paddling his little legs toward you. Gonna come on over to sit on your knee. How you doing there? I'm drowning. How you doing?
So the ones at nature centers are... Moving on. The ones at nature centers are usually Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Mm-hmm.
If they're being used for education, those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones. I guess, I don't know what species you keep as feeders.
For feeders, we use the
dubia roaches.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a little smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches are a large wingless species that are found in rotting logs in their natural habitat in Madagascar, and do not normally live inside buildings. And I guess the dubia probably don't normally live inside buildings either. They're not a pest species, I assume.
No.
I've only seen them in aquariums living in layers of egg crates, so I really can't speak to their native habitat.
Yeah. I have talked a lot about how gross I find cockroaches, but I do also want to talk about some of the ways in which cockroaches are cool and weird.
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, most of them live in warm tropical or subtropical areas, but there are species that can survive in different habitats, wide range of habitats, including deserts and cold areas. For example, there are some alpine type species that can tolerate their bodies freezing down to -9 Celsius, or that's 16 Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
Chilly.
And, as a side note, there are claims all over the internet about how some cockroaches can survive in the Arctic. I did not find any scientific information to back that up. I mean, probably they can survive inside buildings in the Arctic, but I'm not sure about outside. I was not able to verify that claim, although it is repeated in many places.
I mean, surviving if someone drops you outside and picks you up later is different than, like, your species surviving there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I learned in researching this is I knew that termites and cockroaches are thought to be related, but in fact, they're very closely related. And in fact, there's not really a big difference. So termites are just kind of a group within the cockroaches, essentially.
A small cockroach, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
And similar to termites, roaches can digest cellulose from wood, which is a very difficult material to digest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and one of the ways that some of them digest wood is because of symbiotic protozoa that live in their gut, in addition to the protozoa then have symbiotic bacteria themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
So like
like
little
production.
I
flatulence.
was thinking, bacteria, but no protozoa, but the protozoa have the bacteria that digest the cellulose. And
It's like a
Yeah,
turducken.
so
they
some
then basically...
Basically, yes. Turducken of digesting wood.
Oh, Digestive
Maybe.
Turduckin. Oh, that's the title of the episode.
Great.
He's writing it down.
I'm writing it down right now.
At any rate, some termites have those digestive turduckins, and some cockroaches have them too, apparently. And the last thing I want to talk about is Cockroach Family Life, which is actually kind of sweet. Cockroaches are generally very social insects, gregarious, as they say. And they form family groups, at least some species do, which is, it's kind of heartwarming. And having observed Madagascar hissing cockroaches, you can tell that they like being around each other. They just kind of like do little cockroach piles and hang out, cuddle up. Cockroaches are also good mothers. There are several species of cockroach that are ovoviviparous, which means that the eggs will develop to maturity inside the mother's body, and then she'll give birth to live babies. And there's, in fact, one species, which is the Pacific beetle cockroach, Diploptera punctata, that is truly viviparous, which means it will gestate its young basically inside a uterus. It's called a brood sac, but basically like a uterus. And harking back to my episode about non-mammalian milks, it secretes a milk-like substance to nourish its developing young inside of its brood sac. I must have missed that one when I was writing that episode before, but I did talk about tsetse flies, which have a similar kind of system going. Gross. Cockroach milk. Yeah. Don't like to think about that too much.
I hate that.
It's the next new health craze, you guys.
No, it's not.
Cockroach milk.
Oh my God.
So that's pretty much what I have to say about cockroaches. I still don't like them, but they do have some cool things about them, and they're socially sweet as insects go. I will say, as a side note, it is quite difficult to do searches for scientific information about cockroaches on the Google because so much of the information out there is just about pest control.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all exterminator sites, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's going to be our Instagram this week. Pictures of cockroaches, botfly larvae, and I've now forgotten already the weird name of your
caterpillar. It was the hairy slug caterpillar.
Yeah.
Hairy slug.
It's
going to be delightful, folks. Go check it out. Give us a few likes. We appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. That's what we got this week. Good talking to you.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
How is this not the Halloween episode?
Oh, God. What is next week?
Next week, folks. See you next week for Halloween.
Oh, no.
Talk to you then. Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all of our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star review, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach out to us on social media by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can also check out our website, which is strangebynaturepodcast.com. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.